Good afternoon, my name is Shawn S, and I'm going to be talking today about my online instructional plan. I'm a literacy instructor at the Gerald R. Ford Job Corps. The Job Corps is a training facility that's located in downtown Grand Rapids, Michigan at the Old South High School. We teach students how to be facility maintenance workers, carpenters, security officers, and a couple trades inside include health occupational therapist and office administrator. I'm a first-year teacher. This in itself causes some issues for me because I'm just getting my feet wet, even though I'm not your typical first-time graduate. This project is for EDT 629, and the reason I did this is I wanted to create something different for my students to do in class instead of just the same old, same old. The project was to design a website, so I took that a little further and I designed a website that will reinforce classroom activities. This will complement the Read 180 software that I do use. I chose to use the website through Weebly.com. The reason I did this was because it was easier to use than Google Docs, or Google Sites, I mean. It was basically drag and drop, lift different modules, fill in your information. If you wanted to, you could screw around with the HTML coding to make it look all snazzy, but for all intents and purposes, I'm a teacher, not a website designer. The site that I did create has activities that will help students with their reading and comprehension skills. This, like I said, complements the Read 180 software because that is the purpose of the software. The problem with the software is, as you will see in a little bit, is that it is monotonous and it's not really relevant to the students that I teach. In summary, life skills as well as reading skills are observed and used through various assignments and these sites. I'm talking about my website that I created. Some of the web quests that they're doing have to do with actual life skill stuff, but they have to read a lot. So, like I said, this complements the Read 180 software and what my purpose is at the Gerald R. Ford Job Corps. The plan is to increase their reading comprehension skills. I have found that this can be done and relatively easily if you give them something interesting to do. If, we're reading about a Caucasian who's having an issue with his family and not having, the car that he wants, that's not really relevant to my students who mostly come from broken homes, are living on the streets, or just generally have had a not too good life. The assignments that are given to them are an extension of what the CAN curriculum is. This promotes synchronous and asynchronous learning. By that meaning, part of this is a blog, which I will go through and comment on as they post and have other students comment on each other's to give them a sense of community as well as to promote learning and reading comprehension. We have a policy rules handbook that we have to follow for Job Corps as set up by the Department of Labor. What I have on my website covers these issues that have to be addressed in my classroom on a daily basis, if not on a monthly basis. So I'm covered in terms of my job. For this, so you are going to have a computer or cell phone. Students in my classroom do have uses of computers throughout the day. They also have a computer lab in their dorms. Cell phones, they all have them. I would say about 95% of them have smartphones through carriers such as Metro PCS for the majority of them because it is a pay-by-month plan. Some knowledge that I gained, the website. I realized that it's not that hard to create a site through Weebly. Like I said, you don't have to be a computer programmer in order to create this site. It's drag and drop modules. I did opt for the paid version just because we have a website for another organization I belong to through it, so I got the extra bells and whistles for free. It's one-click publishing. Basically, you put your stuff in and you hit publish, bam, it's done a couple minutes later. Some of the things that I did realize is that you need to take your time. If you don't, you're going to come out with a sloppy product. I ended up revising my website multiple times. I even had my wife go through it to look for some spelling errors, which I missed. I also made sure that the site was easy to use. I didn't want a bunch of tabs, a bunch of buttons, a bunch of stuff on there that confuse my students. Some of them have a very short attention span. To the future we go. Some known issues with the site. I put a Khan Academy YouTube video on it. Our Department of Labor Internet policy forbids the use of streaming video, therefore it will be blocked. But currently our center is trying to get Wi-Fi, which will have different policies than the ones that are set up by the Department of Labor for internet usage. I would like to add more material in the future. This would be to basically change with the way I teach in class and or with the way the software changes for Read 180 in the future, because they're supposed to be coming out with a new volume here pretty soon. I'm going to have a problem with some student buy-in. I already know this, I realize this, and I'm okay with this. If teaching was as easy as, cutting a piece of cake, everyone would do it. So I'm just going to have to make it interesting for the students in order for them to be involved with us. This was a good project to do. It forced me to learn about some web-based learning tools that I could implement in my classroom, and it also showed me that it was relatively easy to make. So going forward now, I'm going to go to the Read 180 website so you can see what's going on there. Here's the Read 180 website. This is basically just the home page. This is what I get to see, and this is what the customer gets to see when they go to buy the software. We have student R books. These books are what I was telling you about with the stories. I mean, this is the stuff that I have to read and they have to read in class. Like I said, the majority of my students come from broken homes and predominantly poor or very low income families. They live paycheck to paycheck or no paycheck at all. So a lot of these stories they don't really care about. I've gone through 9 of these, and out of that 2 to 3 of them I've gotten student interest in. This is my software. This is what the students see as well. As you can see here, we have the reading zone, the word zone, the spelling zone, the success zone, and occasionally the writing zone. The students hate the software. The reason for this being is this gentleman right here, it's not to their liking. It's boring, he talks in a monotone voice, so on and so forth. It's not relevant to them. So, like I said, I have to use the software, so what I did was I created a website to complement the software and make it more interesting for them. Here's my page. This page right here shows the home screen of Read 360. Thought that was kind of funny, just making a play on words. Front page, just random house, RSS feed, and Library of Congress. RSS feed gives them a little idea of what's going on in the world of literature. Gives them a breakdown of what we're going to be doing, and also what the first thing they need to do when they get into the site. For now, the site is not password protected, so if you want to look at it, you can. Up here is the actual website itself, read360.weebly.com. First thing the students need to do is take a technology biography and write a paper. The rubric will be handed out in class. This basic paper just tells about what they know about technology, what they use technology for, and how technology impacts their lives. They can use any kind of word processing software they like, and all they got to do is just save it to their computer file on the desktop, hit browse, blah, 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 upload it, got to put their name, last name, and their email address. I did this for a reason. That way they have to put a name on it and they have to give me an email address so I can email back to them and confirm that I did receive their assignment. Next is the Khan Academy assignment. They have to watch a video. Video is about World War II through Vietnam. While I don't teach history, I am a history major, and I wanted to give the students something relatively interesting to learn about in history, as well as gain some comprehension skills because I have to write a paper on this. Once again, the rubric will be handed out and will also be posted in my classroom and available to students who email me and say, hey, I lost my paper. I'm not going to watch the video. It's self-explanatory. Then they'd have to go to the blog page, which, as you can see here, is just a simple hover over the Khan Academy and then click the blog. Blog page. Getting the definition of a blog in case they didn't know what it was. I couldn't get rid of the button up there. I tried and tried and tried, so I just hit do not hit this button. They're going to probably think it's kind of funny because it doesn't do anything. Anyways, the Khan Academy assignment. You have to answer 3 questions in paragraph format. I'll leave comments. Other students can leave comments, so we go back and forth with this details about the World War II to Vietnam assignment. Next in class will be the web quests. I have 4 different web quests available. One about Detroit, one about becoming a music mogul, one about modern art, and one about life skills. This is all stuff that relates to the Read 180 software. This is all stuff that relates to my program responsibilities handbook. For example, the Detroit one, as you can see here, bright colors. It's about Detroit. A lot of my students come from the Detroit area, so this is relevant to them. This web quest tells them they have to figure out a way to fight blight in their city. This can be related to Grand Rapids because of where our center is. It is in a predominant area of homes that are going downhill. The task, we got form a group, so on and so forth. You can see it's step by step. It's written out for them. It's relatively simple. It's at the 11th grade reading level, which is where the students are supposed to be by the time they leave my class, so I've pushed the bar higher for them. They have an evaluation rubric on this page already, if it would load up. Okay, well, we're going to move on. It's going to have an evaluation page. So, going back to my site, the final thing I had them do at the end of the class, or the time that they're here, like I said, this will all be password protected, each one of these pages. It's just a simple survey. Is this site easy to use? Yes, no, maybe. Why? What would you like to see added to the site? What needs to be removed from the site? Did the site help you with your literacy skills? What is your age? All of these questions and comments can be used to help make the site better and to let me know what the students did or did not learn. Other than that, that's, like I said, my basic website. I'm going to be working on this as time progresses. If you have any questions, please let me know.